Sprained ankle saved my life. There's a lot of things cameras don't catch. Am I a little more fearful as I get older? Yes, I am. Bad things can happen if you're not careful, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Captain Sig Hansen, the fearless captain of the Northwestern, has just dropped a bombshell that's got fans everywhere in shock. For years, he's battled raging storms, towering waves, and life-threatening moments on the Bering Sea. But this time, the storm isn't out there on the water. It's happening in his life. Something has shaken the legendary captain, and everyone's asking, what's really going on with Sig Hansen? From his tough early days to becoming one of the most legendary captains in Deadliest Catch history, this is the story of the man who's faced it all, and the truth he's just revealed. Breaking his silence. Captain Sig Hansen has just opened up like never before. What he revealed about Season 21, his partnership with old rival Captain Jonathan Hillstrand, and his thoughts on the future have left fans both inspired and emotional. For the first time in years, Sig and Jonathan are not fighting for crab. They're fishing together. Two of the toughest captains on the Bering Sea teamed up on the Time Bandit for one unforgettable journey. Sig says this season felt especially meaningful because they went farther west than anyone has gone in decades, all the way to the abandoned Adak Island in Alaska. He said the trip was exciting but also emotional, bringing back many old memories. Usually, these two captains compete against each other for the biggest catch, but this time, they worked side by side as a team. Facing those rough 50-foot waves reminded him just how dangerous and unpredictable the ocean really is. Yet, beyond the wild sea and harsh weather, this adventure meant something deeper to him. It was personal. One of the most touching moments of the season for Sig was seeing his daughter, Mandy, take charge as a captain in her own right. He couldn't hide his pride as he admitted that she truly impressed him. After years of guiding and teaching her, Sig finally watched her lead with the same strength and determination he had when he was just starting his own journey. But Deadliest Catch has never been just about success. It's about survival. Sig revealed that this season also had one of the scariest moments of his entire career. Not long after their mission began, Captain Jake Anderson's boat, the Titan Explorer, sprang a leak, forcing the crew to abandon ship. Sig recalled the moment clearly, saying that everything shifted the instant they heard the crew was in the water. Out in the middle of nowhere, knowing that friends were fighting for their lives, there was no hesitation. Fishermen like Sig don't think twice. They drop everything and rush to help. The harsh conditions of the Bering Sea have left their mark on Sig Hansen, not only on his body, but also on his heart. Just a year ago, he claimed he had no plans to retire, but now his words carry a different tone. With a hint of humor, he called himself a professional liar. But behind the laughter was honesty. Sig admitted that while he still has a few good years left, he often finds himself thinking about stepping away. He's lost many friends to the sea, and with each trip, the fear of what could happen grows stronger. As the years have passed, Sig's outlook on life has shifted. He once saw every challenge as something to conquer, but now he's learning to slow down. The fearless drive that once defined him has softened into gratitude. He spoke tenderly about wanting to spend more time with his wife and family, acknowledging how many years she has spent waiting for him to return from the sea. "It's time things go the other way," he reflected. His words showed a side of Sig that fans rarely see, not just the tough captain, but the man behind the wheelhouse. He knows retirement is coming, even if he isn't quite ready to let go. For now, he'll keep doing what he loves, until the sea tells him otherwise. When he talks about his growing family, his face lights up. With a proud smile, he mentioned his 4 grandchildren. He admitted that he used to laugh at older fishermen who bragged endlessly about their grandkids, wondering why they didn't just talk about fishing. Now, he chuckles, realizing he's become one of them, and he couldn't be happier about it. Looking back, Sig recalls being just 22, full of energy, confidence, and determination. He admits that his fearless attitude at that age shaped him into the man he is today. Now, Captain Sig Hansen isn't only battling the harsh Bering Sea, he's also facing the passage of time, personal reflection, and life's changes. From a daring young captain chasing crab to a devoted father and proud grandfather, Sig values what truly matters. But to really understand the man he has become, we need to go back and see how it all began. So, how did Sig rise to fame? Did his family background play a big role in shaping him, or did he carve his own path entirely? The making of a legend. Sigurd Johnny Hansen, better known to fans as Captain Sig, was born in Seattle as the eldest of 3 brothers. Growing up alongside his younger siblings, Norman and Edgar, Sig was surrounded by the rhythm of the sea and the unspoken lessons of hard work that defined his family. The Hansen family wasn't just involved in fishing, they were fishermen through and through. Their roots traced back to Norway, a country with a proud maritime tradition. And Sig's father, Sverre Hansen, carried that legacy forward in Alaska. Sverre wasn't content with simply following the old ways. He and his father had pioneered opilio crab fishing in Alaska, a method that allowed crab boats to earn income year-round, rather than being limited to short seasonal runs. This innovative spirit of thinking beyond what was normal would deeply influence Sig from a very young age. From the time he was a small boy, Sig was no stranger to the smell of salt air, the sound of waves crashing against a boat, or the hard work it took to survive on the water. By the age of 14, he had already started working on his family's boat. While most teenagers his age were focused on school, friends, and hobbies, Sig's life was different. The sea demanded his attention, discipline, and courage. He learned early how to handle ropes, nets, and traps, how to read the weather, and how to face the unpredictability of the Bering Sea, one of the most dangerous waters in the world. In those formative years, Sig's life was a blend of hands-on learning, family tradition, and the thrill of proving himself on the open water. School often became secondary to life at sea. There were days when he would skip classes just to go fishing, and those moments weren't seen as rebellion. They were lessons. Lessons in patience, in strategy, and in understanding the rhythms of the ocean. By the time he graduated high school, Sig was no longer just a helper on the family boat, he was a full-time fisherman. He spent nearly 10 months each year in Alaska and the Bering Sea, working long, grueling hours, learning every aspect of the business, and testing both his skill and endurance. Summers sometimes took him even farther from home, to Norway, where he fished mackerel and cod. These international trips gave him a broader understanding of the sea, different fishing methods, and a respect for the global fishing tradition that had shaped his ancestors. Sig's early life wasn't only about learning technical skills, it was about building character. He learned how to face danger head-on, how to work under pressure, and how to make decisions that could mean the difference between success and failure or even life and death. These early experiences were a form of education in themselves, teaching him responsibility, leadership, and the value of hard work. By observing his father and grandfather, Sig understood that fishing wasn't just a job, it was a way of life, a family legacy that demanded respect and dedication. At just 22 years old, Sig's dedication and talent were recognized when he became a relief captain. In this role, he filled in on the FV Northwestern and other vessels in the fleet, gaining experience in command and learning how to manage both the crew and the challenges of the sea. It was a significant step, a young man being trusted to take responsibility for some of the most dangerous waters and the lives of those working on his boat. By the age of 24, he reached another milestone, becoming the full-time captain of the FV Northwestern. This achievement made him one of the youngest captains in the fleet, a testament to his skill, determination, and the years of experience he had accumulated from such a young age. What made Sig's early career so remarkable wasn't just the speed at which he rose through the ranks. It was the foundation that had been laid over decades. The Norwegian roots, the family's innovative approach to crab fishing, the countless hours on deck learning the trade, and the relentless drive that pushed him forward even when the work was grueling and the conditions unforgiving. By the time Sig took command of the Northwestern, he was more than just a fisherman. He carried with him generations of knowledge, courage, and hard work, keeping his family's legacy alive while making his own mark. But everything changed when the Discovery Channel came calling. How did it feel to have cameras following him on the most dangerous seas in the world? What was it really like living life on screen, facing storms, danger, and drama for millions of viewers? The show that made him. When the Discovery Channel launched Deadliest Catch on April 12, 2005, they weren't just looking for fishermen. They were searching for extraordinary people, skilled and fearless enough to face one of the harshest environments on Earth. And that's exactly what they found in Sig Hansen. The show follows crab fishermen in the Bering Sea, braving icy waters and towering waves during the Alaskan king crab and snow crab seasons. Their base, Dutch Harbor, Alaska, is in the remote Aleutian Islands. The name Deadliest Catch wasn't just for show. It reflects the real danger of this job, where every day could bring life-threatening challenges. Sig Hansen first caught the attention of the Deadliest Catch team because he was the captain of the FV Northwestern, one of the boats featured from the very beginning. The show's creators, led by producer Tom Beers, were looking to capture authentic stories of life at sea, and the Hansen family was a perfect fit. With generations of experience, the Hansens weren't just skilled. They were legendary in the crab fishing world. Sig's father had captained Northwestern before him, building a legacy of expertise and dedication. Sig himself brought that same commitment to the job, leading a crew that perfectly embodied the real-life drama and hard work the show wanted to showcase. Over the years, the Northwestern became one of the top-producing boats in the fleet, with a remarkable safety record. Nearly 2 decades under Hansen's leadership, without a single death at sea. Serious injuries on his boat are rare, especially compared to others in the Bering Sea. Northwestern's success wasn't just measured in safety, it also made history. In 2005, during the king crab season, and again in 2006 for the Opilio season, the Northwestern won the final derby, bringing in the highest poundage and the most money among all the boats on Deadliest Catch. Sig became the full-time captain for both king crab and Opilio seasons, as well as the pot cod fishery, while his younger brothers, Edgar and Norman, worked tirelessly on deck, with Norman currently serving as the boat's engineer. Sig's talents extended beyond the sea. In March 2010, he released his book, North by Northwestern, A Seafaring Family on Deadly Alaskan Waters, co-written with Mark Sundin. The book became a bestseller, appearing on both the New York Times and Wall Street Journal lists. Later that year, he appeared on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, even expressing his wish to compete on Dancing with the Stars, sparking a wave of fan support online. Although Sig briefly stepped away from Deadliest Catch the same year, he returned to continue leading Northwestern with the same grit and determination that made him a star. His fame even crossed into Hollywood. He lent his voice to Krabby, a boat modeled after the Northwestern, in the Disney Pixar film Cars 2. He also competed in the 14th season of The Celebrity Apprentice, proving that his drive and determination weren't limited to the sea. In 2014, Sig's achievements were officially recognized when he was inducted into the Scandinavian American Hall of Fame, joining other notable figures like Doc Severinsen and Bobby Vee. From the icy, dangerous waters of the Bering Sea to the shining lights of TV and film, Sig Hansen's story is one of courage, family tradition, and relentless passion. Every moment aboard the Northwestern reminds viewers why Deadliest Catch became one of the most gripping shows ever made. But beyond the storms and cameras, one question remains: what is Sig Hansen's life really like when the spotlight fades? Beyond the Bering Sea. Off-screen, Sig Hansen's life is very different from the high-stakes drama of the Bering Sea, but it's no less meaningful. He lives in Seattle with his wife, June, and together they have 2 adopted daughters. Sig is also a proud grandfather with 1 grandchild from each daughter. From a previous marriage, he has a biological daughter as well. Family clearly runs deep in the Hansen household, so much so that his youngest adopted daughter, Mandy, has even joined him on the Northwestern as a relief captain. Like her sisters, Mandy grew up speaking fluent Norwegian, the language Sig's parents spoke at home before she learned English. Sig is also connected to his roots in other ways. He's an alumnus of Shorewood High School and a devoted fan of Seattle sports, cheering on the Seahawks and Mariners. Beyond that, he even owns the Norwegian island of Mortholmen, where he and his brothers learned the craft of crab fishing as children, a place that shaped the man he became. But while the adventures on screen capture the excitement, Sig is very aware of the harsh realities of his profession. He has often spoken about the dangers and pressures that come with life at sea. For him, ego and greed are more than just words. They're real forces that can push fishermen to take deadly risks, like ignoring bad weather or the limits of their boats. The physical danger is ever present. Even a small slip can lead to serious injury or infection, and every day on the sea carries the threat of illness or death. Over the years, Sig has faced the heartbreaking loss of fellow fishermen, and the constant proximity to mortality has made him deeply aware of life's fragility. This fear is very real for Senor. He has said that every time he sets out to sea, a deep sense of anxiety grips him. A fear that has only grown stronger with each accident he has seen. The constant stress and dangers of the job have affected his health. But what specific health challenges has he faced? And how did he manage to overcome them? Sig's health problems. Sig Hansen's life at sea has always been filled with danger, but some of the most serious battles he's faced haven't been with the ocean. They've been with his own health. Over the past several years, Sig has survived 2 major heart attacks, each one forcing him to confront his own mortality and rethink his life on and off the water. The first heart attack occurred on March 2016, while Sig Hansen was filming Deadliest Catch. He later described it as unusual, saying it didn't feel like the heart attacks seen in movies. He experienced a sharp, stabbing pain behind his chest that persisted, leaving him frustrated and angry. Initially, Hansen was in denial and insisted he could continue fishing despite the warning signs. But after medical tests, doctors discovered it was a full-blown heart attack, and Sig had to be medevaced to a hospital in Anchorage, Alaska. He later admitted that a critical shot to dissolve a blood clot probably saved his life. That moment was a wake-up call, a stark reminder that even the strongest fishermen aren't invincible. Then came a second scare on October 20th, 18. This time, cameras weren't rolling, and the situation was frighteningly sudden. Sig had been taking an antibiotic for a sinus infection when he suffered a severe allergic reaction, which triggered what he described as a slight heart attack. He later said he probably had less than 10 minutes to live before emergency treatment arrived. This terrifying event forced him to take an honest look at his lifestyle. Sig officially quit smoking after the incident, calling his past on and off habit stupid, and admitting he felt embarrassed and ashamed. These health scares caused Sig to reassess his priorities. Family became his focus, and he began making changes to protect his future. He and his wife, June, now focus on healthier eating, daily walks, and staying as active as possible. Although quitting cigarettes completely has been a challenge for him, Sig Hansen has become more conscious of his health than ever. He shared that doctors told him his heart is now 20% stronger, and emphasized that staying busy and active is an important part of maintaining his health. The challenges didn't stop there. In a 2025 report, Sig revealed he had also battled a life-threatening infection, underscoring just how serious his health issues have been. Yet through it all, Sig has refused to let these setbacks define him. Sig Hansen and his wife, June, divide their time between Alaska, Seattle, and their Norwegian island, Mortholmen, where they have established a small events center for weddings, concerts, and other gatherings. Sig explained that it allows them to stay active and explore something different. It's on land, not the ocean, but it's still about the chase, the challenge. That's what drives me, he said. Sig Hansen's story shows that true strength isn't just about surviving the dangerous Bering Sea, it's about facing life's biggest challenges head-on. With the love of his family, the fight to stay healthy, and the passion he puts into everything he does, Sig proves that even the toughest fishermen can overcome life's hardest battles, both at sea and on land. Even now, Sig believes he is at the top of his game, though retirement will come eventually. But what do you think? Should he step back and let his daughter continue the family legacy? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.